Ocean County always has a lot to offer. It's one of the biggest counties in the state and becomes even bigger during the tourism season over the summer. As we take a look at 2020, I have with me today Ocean County Freeholder Joe Vicari, who is the Freeholder Director for 2020, to take a look at some of the things that we can expect to see in 2020 and what is going to move over from 2019 into 2020. Freeholder, it's always good to have you here, always good to see you and to talk about all things Ocean County. I know you're very passionate about, you're a passionate guy, passionate about a lot of things going on in Ocean County. Certainly the things that are good, that do well for us in Ocean County, and some of the things that present challenges either maybe from a county level or from a state level or a national level. So to start with, what are some things that are either carrying over from 2019 or some new things that maybe we could, as Ocean County, look forward to or have an idea about what's possibly going to happen this year?
You know, I've been very fortunate to be appointed by the members of the Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders as Director for 2020. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a challenging year. I think one of the key things I've always said with Ocean County is certainty. And the people here in Ocean County came here, many from different parts of the state of New Jersey, and they wanted a place where they can live, they could work, and they can retire. And that's my goal for the year 2020. One of the main concerns, of course, is affordability. People come here because they can afford to live here. We have one of the lowest tax rates in the entire state of New Jersey. And when you talk about affordability, what are you really looking at? Well, first of all, you're looking at the tax rate. For the last several years, the tax rate went down. And I anticipate dropping the tax rate for 2020 again. We have a AAA bond rating, which means we're very secure, unlike what's happening in Washington and in Trenton. But how do we keep it low? We keep it low by controlling spending, by putting plans in place where the cost of government does not go up. So we control government. We're conservative, we're fiscal conservative in Ocean County, and we realize that that money is very tight. We're just recovering from two things. We're recovering from the downturn in the economy in 2008, 2009 with the bubble of the housing. We're still not up there. With Superstorm Sandy that happened in 2012, we lost $20 billion in the rateable base. $20 billion. At one time it was $110 billion. Now it's 103. So we're getting back up there, but it was very devastating for us in Ocean County. The Ida storm came through Ocean County. It was the worst storm historically in 500 years. But because we control our spending, we put plans in place that we're going to survive this year, and we will not cut back on core services. One of the services that are very important to me, as you mentioned before, of our population in Ocean County, are senior citizens. We have close to 200,000 senior citizens. We must make sure they live with dignity, they live with independence. And one of the programs that we instituted and we continue to pay with county money, fortunately for us, also shared with the state and federal dollars, the home delivered meals. A lot of our seniors do not have the money. A lot of our seniors, because of their age, they can't cook, they can't do certain things. So we deliver a hot meal to them every single day. And the meal costs us $8. And we ask for a donation of $2. And unfortunately, what happens, because many of our seniors live in poverty, they pay less than $1. But you know something? These are hard-working Americans at one time. They came up during the Depression. They served in World War II and Korea. So we feel that they're entitled to get this home-delivered meals. That's one of the programs that we put more money into every single year. And the people of Ocean County realize we must take care of our senior citizens. The next thing that happened just several weeks ago was one of our programs was cut substantially, which provided home health aides to our senior citizens. So starting in the next several months, every week 50 senior citizens will not get a health aide to come into their house to help them, to take care of them. It's going to make them vulnerable to fall. They won't be able to take care of themselves, and in many cases they will wind up in a nursing home or in a hospital. And that's what we try to do. We try to keep them out of a nursing home or a hospital. Our program has always been to help the elderly, the vulnerable, the disabled, and really people that need help. And that's what we really stand for in Ocean County. And as a director of the Board of Freeholders and chairman of Senior Services, we will continue to do that services. And when I say certainty, we will protect those people that are so important to us that can't take care of themselves. And how do we help the economy? Well, you mentioned it before. One way we do that is with tourism. It's $4.8 billion a year. It's one of our key industries. And we do that by employing people, by encouraging them to give them opportunity to open up their own businesses. Most businesses are small, 3 and 4 people working here, family. 98% of all family businesses. That's very important. That's what America is all about when we say opportunity. Another thing that we do, we work very close with the Joint Base. It's the second largest employer in the entire state of New Jersey. And we've been very successful with the operations that they do there. It's a fight on global terrorism, but they're the backbone of our economy. And the next thing I do as far as opportunities, which I believe in as a former educator for 40 years, is we create job training programs second to none, not only in New Jersey, but in the United States. For an example, before I came here today, just opened up the Performing Arts Academy. We have marine academies. We have so many of these different schools, from plumbers, carpenters, electricians, all of these things. And if you have a talented workforce, industries will come, business will come, high-tech industries will come to Ocean County. Why? Because we train people, our youngsters, not only for jobs that exist today, jobs there's no name for. I'm talking about 10, 15 years from today. The average person getting out of high school will change a job 5 to 8 times. They'll be working for 50 years. They're living longer. So we give them the skills that are extremely so important to do that. You know, when I came to Ocean County as an educator, I was a history and English teacher, times have changed. Classrooms have changed. Teaching methods have changed. We live in a global economy. We compete with Russia, with China, with Korea, with all of these countries. And you know, we're Americans. We can win, and we're going to win, because we teach them what's necessary, the life skills to live in the world today. And those life skills and those trainings are very, very important of what we do. And besides doing that, another one of our key goals, of course, it's a very difficult thing even to talk about sometimes, but we'll deal with it, the opioid addiction that's taking place throughout Ocean County.
Right.
Sad thing. We're going to win. We work with Ocean County Sheriff Mastronati, Prosecutor Brad Billheimer, the Human Services, the Board of Health, all the agencies and all the schools, making sure we can, first of all, prevent anyone from getting addicted to any kind of substance abuse. Secondly, besides doing that, what we do is treatment, which is very, very important. So again, it's a united effort for us in Ocean County. I have experience in dealing with this, not only as a freeholder, but the former mayor of Toms River, and we know that it doesn't exist just in Ocean County. Our children and our grandchildren have to be protected. And what I do in Ocean County is to protect the core services that are so important to us. Whether it be someone in school just starting out, and I just came from a couple of schools with the young children in there, to our high schools, to Ocean County College, to the Ocean County Library. We have the largest library system in the entire state of New Jersey, 21 branches. And more people are going in there every single day. And why? Because they want to get educated. You know, when you look at the jobs that are taking place today, there's 2 things that I look at. One is we have to train people to work with their hands. Plumbers, carpenters, electricians, whether it be a baker or a butcher or a cook or whatever the case may be. And the second thing, we have to train people for jobs of the future, the Fortune 500 jobs. And for an example, at one time it was STEM teaching, science, technology, engineering, and math. Now we have another program in the arts, science, technology, arts, engineering, and math. All of those things are very important to us. So we expanded our scope of educating people because of the global economy. They will be successful because of a couple things. Not only the opportunities the Board of Freeholders gives them with the buildings, but because of their parents at home, their families, saying, you know something, you have to strive to be the best. You have to reach your full potential. We only assist them. We're partners with them. I'm partners with all 29 school districts. I'm partners with their families, with their parents, but even with the community, it's very important. Every day I deal with different businesses that look at Ocean County. Why should I come to Ocean County? We talk about the quality of life. We talk about low taxes. But I think one of the most important things is we have a well-trained job market. They have the skills that are necessary. So if you come to Ocean County and you tell us what you need, the college and the vocational school will do everything necessary to make sure we can train the younger people to go into those fields of working. A lot of jobs that existed today, they weren't enlisted for even 5 years ago. What we teach today, again, could be obsolete, but not the skills, the thinking skills, to analyze certain things, to write a paragraph, communication skills. All of those things are vital to what we're doing in Ocean County. And I'm very fortunate to have the support not only of the freeholders, but even the business community. It's so important. And one of the things that we do, we reach out, we do an assessment continuously of what we can do to make things better. We don't look back, we always look forward. We always try to improve ourselves, and we want to reach high in Ocean County. Our reach should exceed our grasp. And I tell to everyone, every time I talk to a student, when I met with the students today, I say it continuously, you have opportunities that never existed before, that I never had, my parents never had. But I want to give those same opportunities and increase those to not only my children, but to our grandchildren. And that's why it's so important that the freeholders realize that. We work together. And I'm really appreciative today because it's very difficult to get the message out. We do not have a local TV channel as we had at one time. One time, when I first got elected, we had 3 or 4 newspapers, and we no longer have that. So how do we communicate with the people of Ocean County? And one of the best ways, of course, with social media, a lot of people use, is with the radio station. And your radio station has been very good to us. People going to work, people coming back from work to turn on a radio station, and they find out about these programs. For an example, someone could be a veteran. We have the most veterans in this entire state. Great veterans programs. If there's a senior citizen that needs help, we have great programs for them. If you want to go back to school, most of the people going back to school get retrained in their 40s. And they don't know about it. And I hear more and more, I don't know about it. No one told me about it. My mom and dad, they don't have food. They don't have any money. And I say, well, what's the situation? 30% of all the senior citizens live only on Social Security. They live in poverty. Last year, Social Security went up 1.6%. Over the last 5 years, it went up 1.3%. And if you look at that, they can't pay their bills. So that the quality of life is going to go down. They're eating less. They can't pay their utility bills. They can't buy prescription drugs. They can't buy basic needs of life because of the fact it's not keeping up. My goal this year, working with our congressman in the area, is to change the formula for calculations of Social Security. And they just can't live on that. These are Americans that have worked hard. And a single American now, their spouse passes away, living on $1,400 totally a month. That's just not right. They can't pay their bills. So instead of suffering in quiet desperation, we're going to say, what can I do? What can I do to help you? What do you need? And you know something? We're going to do as much as I can as a county freeholder, but I'm also going to work as hard as I can, working with the state agencies, working with the federal government, and saying, you know something? Here's the problem. How do we solve it? And what do I do to improve the quality of life of the people in Ocean County?
And you touched on a number of key issues, a number of key things that help make Ocean County run, or some things that present challenges that are addressed or do need to be addressed. One of the things I know you like to talk about a lot is business and the tourism. You and the Tourism Director, Dana Lancelotti, do a lot to boost tourism in Ocean County and bring some of that here. And to sort of tie into that, how do you continue, or what are you looking to do to bring some businesses into Ocean County, whether it's sort of the chain brands of the supermarkets or gyms or clothing type of stores? I know there's a lot going on with the Ocean County Mall project right now that's expanding and adding on things. Do you see that adding a lot of those type of businesses will help, especially during the summer tourism season, with bringing a lot of people into Ocean County where they could find some things maybe that if they're coming from out of state or out of the county, that they come to Ocean County and find the things that they love and the places they like to go, and that could help boost business in Ocean County, especially during tourism seasons?
We have many retail businesses throughout Ocean County. We have many malls. And you know what's happening over the last 10 years with Amazon, with online, and it's called creative destruction. Okay, what's happening is that they're changing. Times have changed. The malls are not like they used to be. Retail businesses are not like they used to be. So what are they doing? They're going to other areas. So what we have to do is to train people for different jobs. Here's what I mean by that. Will there be someone that's in Walmart or Kmart in a box store, someone that's working at McDonald's, And you know something? Some people want to do the entry-level jobs. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to the high-tech jobs. For an example, is a perfect example that with the computer system, whether repair it or whatever the case may be, computer-aided areas such as with drawing in different areas, we do that. We just signed a contract with a major construction company where they're going to give us money. They're going to give the Board of Freeholders in a vocational school $100,000 to teach people, men and women, how to use equipment. Good paying job. So they're coming to us and said, look, if you can teach them, here's the equipment you need, the simulators, so you can drive, so they can drive a bulldozer, heavy equipment. So those are the things that we're doing now in Jackson School that will be implemented over the next several months. Each person is different. We recognize not only individual differences, but individual kinds of jobs. All jobs. Wherever you go in Ocean County, someone needs a plumber, carpenter, a mechanic, hairdresser, whatever the case may be. It's very diversified as far as what you can do to earn a living. And one size doesn't fit all. Each person is different, but I know one thing. All of my programs in a vocational school are filled to the maximum. Whether it be the Performing Arts Academy I just left a few minutes ago, would it be the Marine Academy, law enforcement. We train young men and women to go into law enforcement continuously. Very, very important. Medical services. We need nurses continuously. And we have young men and women go into these programs all the time, because if you build a hospital or a nursing home, you need personnel that can attend to those people. Would it be a nursing aide, an x-ray technician, or a supervisor? They are trained in the Ocean County system. Teachers, nurses, Ocean County College is no longer a 2-year college, it's a 4-year college. And you go to the vocational school for 4 years, you can get a 2-year degree out of it. Imagine a 2-year degree. Most people have problems with student loans. So what we're trying to do is to minimize that, give the average working person who's just struggling every single day to pay their bills and pay their mortgage, so you know something, my son or daughter wants a college education. And you know something, if you really want it, you'll get it in Ocean County because of the partnerships that we have with major universities throughout the state of New Jersey.
I know one of the things you've touched on in the past is certainly affordability and taxes. I know there's been a lot of tax hikes in the state that have put a lot of pressure on people's personal budgets at home and trying to, make ends meet. At least part of that. So how, in shaping the budget, at least for the upcoming year, do you kind of take a look at state taxes and then take a look at what taxes are going up or down on a countywide level for people in Ocean County? As the budget gets put together this year, are we in for any surprises, or what are some of the things that we can maybe expect to see, at least as the budget gets prepared for the year?
When I became director of the Board of Freeholders, the first thing I said was no surprises. We will keep the core curriculum. For an example, core services will not change. We have the largest road system. We're going to take care of the streets. We're going to take care of the drainage. We're going to make sure we take care of our park system, the largest library system, the best Ocean County college, the finest vocational school, and the list can go on and on and on. And it's not just those services, it's things that help people. Now, for an example, I mentioned before about our veterans. We have 40,000 veterans in Ocean County. We're going to make sure we take care of our veterans. We appreciate what they have done for us. The 200,000 senior citizens that are in Ocean County, we're going to take care of them. I'm going to make sure next summer our tourist industry, where people can work, the private initiative, we're going to make sure we keep them going. I'm going to make sure I protect the Joint Base from any kind of closures that they want to do 10 years ago with the BRAC cuts and everything else. It's the largest employer in the state of New Jersey, the second largest employer next to the state of New Jersey. Those things are very important to us. So if you look to the back and the future and everything else, I don't guarantee that for the year 2020, even the year 2021. No surprises. Why? We live within our budget. We watch the tax rate, drop it a little bit, so people pay less on a tax rate. We also make sure we don't spend too much money borrowing money. We don't print money like in Washington. We don't spend money like in Trenton. So we live within our means, and we always know, and I know from past experience, what goes up goes down. Stock market's good today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Property values going up, could stop. We don't know. And one time as a freeholder, we lost $20 billion in rateables, and I'll never forget that. And with all of that, we have not laid off one person. We changed things around. We had a hiring freeze. We froze salaries. But you know, when you get a job in Ocean County, and I value the people, the 1,600 people that work there, we want to make sure that they realize and they support us. You're not going to get rich working for the county, but at least you're going to have a job next year no matter what happens. But you have to serve a purpose. And again, it's 24/7. We never close down. We have to take care of the jail, the communication center, emergency services. Ocean County never closes down. There could be a storm, there could be a hurricane, no matter what, natural disasters, no matter what happens, 24/7, 7 days a week, we never close our lights in Ocean County.
Last question, at least for Ocean County. What are some of the projects that are still ongoing, or some projects that are being worked out in meetings and everything that have yet to take place, whether it's structurally or something else that people in Ocean County could expect to see? If it's a road project, if it's a building, are there any kind of sort of those infrastructures that are in the works or going to happen this year that people could expect to see? New buildings or renovated buildings, or roadways expanded or changed in any way?
You know, I'm also in charge of buildings and grounds. We have about 135 buildings. Every year there's always a project. The 135 buildings are getting older. There's always a new roof. There's always a heating system, an air conditioning system. So it's ongoing. But we have a policy of what we do. Even in roads, we have a 10-year program. We know what we're going to do. Before we do a road, we work with the local towns, so they have input into that. And energy projects. We're trying to cut down the cost of natural gas and electric and heat and whatever. So we upgrade it. And many times it's paid for with different grant money from state and federal government. It would be the Board of Public Utilities. And when we spend money, we pay for it. The reimbursement is from what we save. And that is unbelievable. So when we spend $20 million in a bond, we get that money back within 6 years. We pay off the $20 million, and then the expectancy of the project is 15 more years, and we make that money. So in the next several months, we're going to get a check for $550,000 on a savings we have with our utility bills. And that's what it is. It's just good government. It's working together. It's being creative and having a vision of what's taking place. Government has to be run like a business. Many times if they make a mistake, well, let's raise taxes, let's raise taxes. Our philosophy is, no, I'm going to drop the tax rate this year. We're going to do the same thing next year. No, you can say, well, how do you know what's going to happen next year? No, the mindset has to be, we will not raise the tax rate. People are having a very difficult time earning a living. Most people in Ocean County are middle-class, hardworking people, and that's what we value. We value middle-class, hardworking people. Make it affordable, help their children go to school, give them the opportunities, and not only a good working environment for the middle-class people, but eventually you want them to retire in Ocean County.
Last question is more for you. 39 years now as a freeholder in Ocean County. How have you seen Ocean County grow and change over the years, and what has it meant to serve the people of Ocean County for the last almost 4 decades?
I have an honor that very few people have ever had in the state of New Jersey by serving them for 39 years. And the population of Ocean County when it came was half. There's no question about it. It was different times. But it's a good feeling when I see the good things happening, like with the Performing Arts Academy and the vocational school. Kids come in, they're happy, they know they have a great future. In all of our departments, the purpose of Ocean County is to help people. What can we do to help the people? And when you call up, okay, you get a person on a phone. We say, how can we help you? And one of the things I spoke about several days ago was being kind to people, being good to people. There's a lot of good people in the world today, and especially in Ocean County. And don't be negative. Don't look at the downside of people. And say, something, what can we help you? How can I make a difference? Every day I wake up, I say to myself, I can make a difference, even if people don't ask me. And that's what we have to do, as good citizens, as teach citizenship. What can we do to make a difference in Ocean County and then continue to make it the best place for people to live, to work, and retire? I'm very fortunate. I've been very lucky in serving the people of Ocean County. My children went to school locally in Ocean County, and my grandchildren, they love what takes place throughout the entire area of South Jersey. So again, it's really protect what we have. I don't care if it's Barnegat Bay, the 44 miles of the great ocean that we do have. We preserve 60% of the land in Ocean County. You can't build on forever. So that means I mean, what you say is what you're going to have, and we control the growth and development of Ocean County. Land-wise, we're number 2. It's a big county. Population is number 6. Right now, one of my major goals for 2020 is a census. Every 10 years, it's like a picture in time. If I leave one person out, that's funds, the money I get, times 10. And what I try to do, and we were one of the leaders in the state of New Jersey, with counting the people in Ocean County. That's how you decide where the congressional seats are going to be, where your state senate seats are going to be, the assembly seats. Unfortunately, in the past, New Jersey lost 2 congressional seats because they went to different parts of the United States. And places that are growing, like North Carolina, Florida, Texas, are getting larger and larger amounts of people. When you read the newspaper, sometimes they just said 40% of the people of New Jersey are not happy. They want to go someplace else. Well, before you go someplace else, look at Ocean County. You want to relocate. It's a great place. And, a lot of people don't want to leave to New Jersey. Their families are here. Their friends are here. But sometimes it's not affordable. And we're trying to change that cycle. And that's why it's so important to get the people to realize what's taking place. Don't get depressed. Don't be in despair. There's a lot of hope. We have faith in what's taking place in Ocean County. And there's so many good things that are happening here. It's very positive. And we value what we do. And we value the people who stay in Ocean County and not to move out of the state.
Freeholder Vicari, thanks as always for your time.
Always a pleasure.
That's Ocean County Freeholder Joe Vicari, the Freeholder Director for 2020. Freeholder Gary Quinn will be the Deputy Director for the Ocean County Freeholders this year. For all the latest Ocean County news and happenings, make sure you download the WOBM mobile app.